Hello from Bangkok, Thailand. It's time for another short video update. We have a lot to go over. We haven't made one of these video updates in almost 3 weeks now. So let's go back to the end of our last video, and we were about to get ready for a tent meeting at Gwendolyn's parents' church in Madison, Virginia. And the kids sang a song with us.
Yes, first time in a long time our whole family sang together. So that was a lot of fun.
They did a good job. Everybody seemed to enjoy it. I think that would have been on Sunday evening. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was Sunday evening. And then Monday we had to leave. Now, right before that, when we had the fuel shortage on the East Coast, I had gone down to see my brother. Actually, we all did. And preached for him Wednesday night before that. So
it was an interesting trip trying to find a gas station that had the fuel.
Yeah, I didn't sleep at all Wednesday night thinking about how many miles to the gallon I could get and how many gallons the Yukon could hold and how far it was to where I knew we needed to get back to Gwen's parents' house. And but the Lord provided, we made it on in. And then on Monday, we loaded up and headed to Texas.
Yes, and our schedule was full of eating meals with friends and family, and between that and packing, we just didn't have a lot of extra time for anything, but we managed to squeeze Cynthia's birthday in there.
Yeah, Cynthia turned 19.
Yes.
And of course, she'll be going back to Crown College of the Bible in Knoxville. So we left one back in the States.
We did.
The last time we came, we left Lee and brought Cynthia. This time we brought Lee, and happy to have him here with us. But we left Cynthia. And so I don't know what's going to happen next time we go. We might leave the older three.
Maybe.
And just come back with the two babies. We're supposed to be doing this empty nest thing, and we're bringing them back. And so... but we enjoy having all our kids with us.
We do. And at the same time, our friends from here, missionaries Brian and Jamie Cohn, they left Thailand. So we got to visit with them for a little bit before we flew back over here. And their daughter Faith had her graduation. So we were very happy to be able to be a part of that.
Yeah, it seems like the last couple of times they've headed to Thailand when we've left, or vice versa. And then it looks like we're going to be headed back to the States probably in April is when our visas are all going to expire and need to be renewed. And they are coming in January. So we'll be here for about 3 months and then switch out again. Let's see, what else do we have? I preached last Sunday night at Joshua Baptist Church, our sending church, and enjoyed that. I don't know how much everybody there enjoyed it, but I enjoyed preaching to them and had a good time. They took up a huge love offering to help us out with our expenses of quarantine and going to school and our visas. And so we're very grateful for their generosity, and they've always been generous, and that's why they're our home church. They love us, and we love them. Yes. And so that was a good time Sunday night. And then what? We
packed and headed to the airport in Houston.
Yeah, we left on it was a Wednesday morning. Oh, we had to get our COVID tests on Monday.
Yes.
And those obviously all came back negative Tuesday evening. And so we were thankful for that. We got on the airplane Wednesday evening. My dad helped us to get to Houston. And we loaded up and actually had an uneventful flight. Appreciate everybody praying for us. I'm sure that's why we actually had nothing. Of course, I'll say that. Thank you for praying for us. But also, Gwendolyn went through every online thread of how to do this correctly and what Thailand expects and what does the airport in Doha expect and what does the airline, this particular airline, expect. So all of the hours that she spent investing in investigating all of this information paid off because we had every document. And actually when we got our boarding passes, the people there were like, oh, we're so happy you just have everything in order. It's all filed like it needs to be. People in front of us, people behind us were having problems. One man, they just told him, sorry, you have the wrong COVID test. You can't get on the airplane. You need to call and get another test and reschedule for later in the week. And so we were able to get here safely. But here we are now in quarantine.
And as far as flights were, our first flight was relatively full.
Oh, yeah.
Our second flight, there was only about 40 people on that, so we were able to move around and spread out and actually lay down and sleep on that flight.
We were in the back third of the airplane. I think there were maybe 5 other people and probably 100 seats.
Yeah.
So there were around 100 seats for 12 people. And so, yeah, I was having a hard time keeping my kids still. They were jumping and hopping chairs. And then the flight attendants came and said, you guys spread out all you want, just make yourselves at home. And my kids did.
Yeah.
And but that was actually an easy flight.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And then when we got here, we had to sit in chairs 6 feet apart from each other in every direction and go through a medical checkup, which only took about 10 minutes.
Again, every document that they wanted to see, we had ready and handed right to them. And all of our names are on the backs of our passports, so they could just go through the stack, easily identify who was who. And it was incredibly smooth.
It was, and we got to the airport in record time from
sure.
ever.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Our hotel sent 2 vans to meet us and get us and our luggage.
And that was another thing. We had asked another missionary that came in to quarantine, and anytime a missionary comes to Thailand, they have a ton of luggage. We just bring a lot of stuff that we can't get here, and so we just load up. And there's only 4 in his family, and they couldn't fit their luggage in the van with them. And so he said, man, if I'd have known ahead of time. So I messaged the hotel and I told them, we have 14 50-pound bags, which we were allowed by the airline. We also paid extra for 2 more 50-pound bags. We have 6 15-pound carry-ons and 6 personal items, and we're all maxed out. So they actually sent a 15-passenger van from the hotel, and you don't even know this, but the other van was actually a hospital van. Oh. And so they sent one of the hospital vans, not an ambulance, but a hospital van that they use for moving people around. And we got all of our luggage and everything in both vehicles.
Yes, and we got through the city in record time.
Unbelievable, no traffic at all.
It's crazy. It's just, it's almost like a ghost town to some extent compared to what we remember, all the people and all the vehicles.
Absolutely. There's just what should have taken 2 hours on a Friday morning, because we hit it during rush hour, was probably a 30-minute drive.
And everyone at the airport and our hotel driver was dressed like they were like they were doctors going into major surgery. And we had to put shoe covers over our shoes. And of course, we had to wear a mask from the second we walked into the airport in Houston until we got to our hotel in Bangkok, unless we were eating or drinking.
Yes, which we kind of spaced that out pretty good. We drink Pepsis really slow in my family. And I think that's about it. So now we're here. We got 3 separate rooms for 6 people, so 2 people per room. Yeah. They interconnect in the hallway, so we're able to go from room to room. There's no kitchen or dining room, so we kind of either spread out on the floor. They bring us trays of food 3 times a day. It's good food, but it's kind of hard for Caleb. He's kind of picky with what he eats, and so
I brought peanut butter and jelly, and we've been able to get some bread with some of our meals, so that has helped out.
We're not able to have things delivered here to the room, and so we have another missionary friend, and the way the rule is, if you are related to the person, you can bring them items. Otherwise, you're not allowed to have a person bring you anything. So we were discussing our relationship, and he's my younger brother in Christ. Yes. And that's gonna be good enough. And so it's close enough to blood relation. If you go back far enough, we are in fact related.
That's true.
We just don't know how many hundreds of years you'd have to go back. So what else do we have?
Well, we had our first COVID test before we were allowed into the hotel, and those results came back negative. Praise the Lord. It's been pretty quiet around here. I was just trying to catch up on sleep. I guess one of the highlights is the fact William's lost 2 teeth since we've been in here, and didn't cause a problem or a mess. And meals have been interesting because each one of us, a full meal comes on a tray, and then we have to put all of our leftovers into biohazard bags, and it has to be packaged a certain way before we can set it back out the door. So it's been a lot of interesting things going on.
Yes, I've said a few times that right now, the government's view of the COVID situation is about California times 100.
Yes.
And that's about what it is. People are really, all people are very, very, very concerned. And in the airport, we have almost zero interaction with anyone. In fact, whenever the gentleman who guided us up here, he was dressed like like he was going into Chernobyl to test for some kind of radioactivity. And when he got up to the room and showed us where our rooms were and our luggage, they actually sprayed our luggage down with some chemicals and then brought it up here for us. And what they didn't know is that Gwen had wrapped everything inside of the suitcases with plastic garbage bags because we didn't want no chemicals on our clothes.
right.
That was something else she found out. So he got us all up here and showed us where our rooms were and everything. And then he just looked at us and said, "I'll see you in 6 days," and turned around and locked the door behind him. And we're going to be here for a few days.
Yes.
So, but it's just a lot of sitting around, and we're working on a schedule, getting the kids started in some schoolwork, and
Fortunately, our air conditioners work very well.
yes, about froze us out the first night. So I think that's about it. What else do we have?
I think that's it. That's a pretty good,
So
quick update, as quick as we can make it
Yeah.
this week.
there's a lot of interesting things we could throw in. We want to keep the video short. As far as praying, just pray that we test negative for COVID again this week, and that we can just get as much done as possible while we're here. I'll be preaching Sunday, live stream. Other than that, there's not much else I can do ministry-wise. And
And pray for Cynthia. She's back in the States, and she's started her first job this week, and she's loving it. So that's good.
she likes making money. And we're just thankful she's with a very godly lady from our home church
Yes.
that owns the styling salon where she's working. And we're very thankful for her. I would mention her by name, but I don't want to embarrass her. But I've known her for
Long time.
longer than she would like to admit. All right, I guess that's about it for this week's video. Thank you for your prayers. We're thankful that you have been so generous and helped us with all the expenses of getting here. There's a couple other things I could put in this video, but we're going to end it right here, and just look forward to making another video later this week. And until then, God bless you.